Hello everyone, and welcome to Storytime from the Angie W Cox Public Library in downtown Partyville, Wisconsin. Today we are reading two stories. The first is Little Ghoul Goes to School by Jef Czekaj, and the second is John's Turn by Mac Barnett and illustrated by Kate Berube. The theme for these stories is back to school. Don't forget to stop in for the corresponding craft to go along with these stories. And first up, we have Little Ghoul Goes to School by Jef Czekaj. Tomorrow was the first day of school, and Little Ghoul was nervous.
"Don't worry, my little maggot," said her mother. "I'm sure school would be just ghastly." Her mom sat with her and explained how horrible the first day of school would be. It made Little Ghoul feel a little better. Little Ghoul devoured a bedtime snack. She brushed her teeth with rotten onion-flavored toothpaste. She jumped into bed. Her mom slobbered on her and tenderly said, "I hope you have dreadful nightmares." Little Ghoul was still thinking about school as she closed her eyes and drifted off to sleep. When Little Ghoul's eyes popped open, it was morning. She had been hoping the weather for her first day of school would be her favorite, cold and rainy. But alas, it was bright and sunny. Her mom looked her goodbye, and Little Ghoul headed to the bus stop. Her mom had explained that the school bus would be an old scrap heap with a terrifying driver. But when it arrived, the bus looked safe, and the driver was friendly. "Welcome aboard," he said. This was awful, but that wasn't nearly as bad as when they arrived at school. The principal waited outside to greet everyone with a huge smile on her face. "Good morning! It's great to see you," Principal Edelman said. Little Ghoul hoped the classroom would be dark and dank and the teacher would be mean. But she was disappointed again. At least lunch would be disgusting. Her mom had promised to pack her favorite, a maggot and brown banana peel sandwich, rotten milk, and a pickle and fishbone cookie for dessert. But inside her lunchbox, she found a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. There was even a chocolate chip cookie. Ew! At this point, Little Ghoul was sure that she hated school. She sat on the floor as the librarian explained how they would use their library cards. There was something familiar about Miss Shelley, but Little Ghoul couldn't quite put her finger on it. Miss Shelley told them that each student would get to take a library book home. Little Ghoul had a hard time choosing. Luckily, Miss Shelley had a suggestion. Then it was time for art class. Little Ghoul made a mess. She tore paper, she threw paint, she glued scraps of fabric to the torn paper and thrown paint. "Wow," said Mr. Ryder, the art teacher. "That's powerful. I can really feel the energy and emotion in your work. Let's put it in the student art show." Just when Little Ghoul was thinking she might actually survive the first day of school, the unthinkable happened. "Hi," said a smiling boy. "My name is Ben. Let's be friends."
Friends? Friends? Ghouls don't have friends. Ghouls are too creepy, spooky, and spine-chilling to have friends. So Little Ghoul did the only sensible thing she could think of. She ran away, screaming. Little Ghoul was still screaming when she opened her eyes. "Mom, I dreamed that I went to school and everyone was nice. It was awful."
"Oh, my little maggot," said her mom. "That was just a dream. Now it's time for you to get ready for your real first day of school." Little Ghoul was nervous as she headed to the bus stop, but happily, the weather was cold and rainy. The school bus was rusty and filled with unsavory creatures. Her teacher was hideous, and lunch was absolutely repulsive. And when she saw the librarian, Miss Shelley, Little Ghoul knew everything would be all right. Last but not least, we have John's Turn by Mac Barnett and illustrated by Kate Berube. On Fridays, there's assembly. It's in the morning before class.
We sit in the cafeteria so it still smells like breakfast. Mr. Ross does announcements. Sometimes there's a guest. And then, if we're good, at the end, one of us gets to do something for the whole school. A performance. It's called sharing gifts. A lot of us think that's a kind of dumb name, but we also think sharing gifts is the best. Last week, Tina played tuba. Once, Jesse did magic tricks. That was cool, but it was hard to see his cards from the back. Carla told us some jokes. Today was John's turn. John brought 2 bags to school, his backpack and one with his sharing gifts stuff. He was quiet at breakfast. We knew why. He was nervous. During announcements, John prepared. He was hidden behind a big blue curtain. He unzipped his bag and changed into his clothes. He put on a white leotard. He put on black pants. He put on black slippers. Then he was ready. Behind the blue curtain, John sat down and waited till it was his turn. Mr. Ross reminded us permission slips were due Monday. We all sang a song. Then he introduced John. What's John gonna do? Andre asked without raising his hand. Mr. Ross looked at his paper. He's doing a dance. Cool, Andre said. He never raises his hand. The blue curtain moved, then John came onto the stage. We could tell that his heart was beating real fast. Mr. Ross pressed play. The music was strings, violins and things, and then maybe flutes. Someone said, "How the heck do you dance to that?" It was probably Tiffany. A bunch of kids laughed. Mrs. K shushed the crowd. Then it was John's turn. He danced. Then John stood still. He took a bow, breathing hard, and he looked out at us. Then it was our turn. We clapped. Thank you again for watching our story time, and don't forget to pick up the corresponding back-to-school craft at the library.